Aloha everybody, it is I, the Great Clement, and today we're looking at the extra vid of Sonic Advance. There really isn't much ground to cover, but I didn't want to throw this in the last video because it would have made the video too long. But basically, there is a Tiny Chao Garden. Right in the main menu is the option to go to a Tiny Chao Garden where you can raise a Chao just like you do in Sonic Adventure 1 and in Sonic Adventure 2. You could buy this Chao all kinds of fruit, you can name it whatever you want. You're going to use the fruit to increase his stats, to make his power, and his speed, and his flying, and everything all hunky-dory, and everything's all great. And, yeah. In the actual Tiny Chao Garden itself are actually two mini-games as well, where you can actually earn rings. There's a rock, paper, scissors type mini-game where you push the button just as all these floating tiles are passing by, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the rock to, you know, break the scissors, and you're trying to get the scissors to cut the paper, and the paper to cover the rock. You know, you're always just trying to trump the tiles and aim for the ones that will be trumped. And you get rings from that. There's also a second minigame where they have all these different icons laid out. They might mix a few of them here and there, but for the most part, you're memorizing where they were, and you're just doing a matchup kind of thing. Like, you flip over one card, and then the next card you flip over has to match that. Otherwise, you get a strike. 3 strikes, you're out. You have to get you have to try and match all of them for rings and stuff. So that's Tiny Chao Garden. This game also connects to Sonic Adventure 2 and to Sonic Adventure DX for the Nintendo GameCube. What you need? Well, obviously you need Sonic Advance if you have the Tiny Chao Garden. You need, of course, the Game Boy Advance. And then you actually have to buy a little cable link that does not come with a GBA, that does not come with Sonic Adventure 2, that does not come with anything, really. You have to buy this at Walmart or something. So once you have the GBA cable link, well, then you put it into your GameCube. And that's how that works, ladies and gentlemen. So is the Tiny Chao Garden any good? Not really. Guys, Sonic Adventure 2's Chao Garden is perfectly fine as is. You can trade Chao from one memory card to another. There's a black market where you can buy different colored Chao. You can teach them new abilities in the kindergarten. And most importantly, there are races and karate and stuff to actually use those abilities of the Chao. Tiny Chao Garden by itself is nothing more than a Tamagotchi device. There's really nothing to the Tiny Chao Garden. There's no Chao races, there's no Chao karate. You really can't buy a different colored Chao. You're just going to be looking at the same basic light blue Chao walking around in his garden. Honestly, I never saw the point of it. Even if it can connect to Sonic Adventure 2, and even if you can put your Sonic Adventure 2 Chao into the Tiny Chao Garden, well, so what? Just so you can speed up the level up process a little bit? It was never worth it in my opinion. I don't know why they bothered putting in the Tiny Chao Garden. It was really just an excuse for Sega to sell some cable links and to sell some more copies of Sonic Advance and stuff. I wasn't big on it. I don't care for the Tiny Chao Garden, but that's just me. There are a few cheats in the actual Sonic video games themselves. Of course, everyone remembers the Barracuda cheat in Sonic 3D Blast, but there's actually a cheat for Sonic Advance that allows you to play as both Sonic and Tails in the actual levels, just like he did in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Though I don't understand why anyone would want to do this, considering... When you go into the options menu, you'll actually notice that there's a difficulty select option, where you can actually change this game from normal to easy. There's no hard option, at least not that I'm aware of, and I just found that pretty odd, because none of the Sonic games before this, aside from Sonic Pocket Adventure, had a difficulty select. It was always just whatever it was, and the fact that this game could be easier really surprises me. In the sound test, we get a nice caricature of Amy Rose shaking the maracas. I think it's kind of funny, considering Amy Rose was also a visible presence in the Knuckles Chaotix sound test. But anywho, some of the tunes in Sonic Advance are from the good old classic Sonic games. And I just figured I'd play those out, and we would end the video with that. So yeah, Sonic Advance 2 is coming up next. Hope you enjoy it, guys. Yeah, this is really all I had to show you, but yeah, toodles.